Testing 1, 2. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2. Hi. Hello, everybody. I'm having a little trouble. Hey, Leanne. Tell me how's the sound here? My PreSonus microphone is not working, so I'm using the mic on the computer. It's going to sound a little bit tinny, but at least you can hear me. I don't know why the PreSonus mic is not working. So Leanne M., can you tell me, can you hear me okay? Can you hear me? I can, just let me know. Anyway, this is the live chat. It's Wednesday. Sounds good, okay? OG, hello there. Yes, I don't know why we got off to this strange start, but it is now Wednesday. It is now February 7th, 2018. We're about second month of the new year. Guess what? My birthday is 2 weeks from tomorrow. How's that? Anyway, thank you all for joining in. This is the live chat from the Douglas Pollock Depression Recovery channel, where each week we talk about practical tools and coping strategies for healing from depression and anxiety. Hey, so glad I'm in this time. We can hear you fine. Okay, Hannah, well, great. Hey, Jacob Hamilton. Hey, Jeff. Hannah, I don't think I've met you before. Well, anyway, never ever happy old day. LOL, yes, well, that's true. I'm going to be 103, so that is getting up in years. So I did a video posted a video on Monday called How to Be Happy for the Rest of Your Life. That sounds like a crazy title for someone with depression. How can someone with depression be happy for the rest of their life? Well, it's possible because it turns out that although 50% of your happiness is determined by your genes, you have a set point, a happiness set point, like a weight set point. It's a point at which everything revolves around. That's your natural default position. Like some people are naturally melancholic, naturally depressive. So that's what that set point is about. But according to the researchers at Harvard, 40% is under our control. There are things we can do. They're called intentional activities. I wonder if anybody, Hannah Valentine, you're fairly new here, right? You look good for 103. Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. I try to take care of myself. Anyway, yes. Did anybody watch that video on Monday on my channel, How to Be Happy for the Rest of Your Life? Well, as I said, it gives hope for those who have family history of depression, and that you can, through the activities, the choices you make, the way you think, the way you behave, change things around. Don Thomas, can I ask you, when you first started your depression vlog, did you have a lot? Okay, let me see what she's saying here. Did you have a lot of people that were negative towards what you were trying to accomplish? No, Don, I've had nothing but support since the beginning in November of 2012. Matter of fact, that video that I did has over 100,000 views between my channel and Noah Thomas's channel. So no, there was no negativity. I wonder why you asked that question, John. Yeah, very good advice. Well, I think you're talking about what I said about how there are things you can do that are under control. For example, gratitude, right? Now, I suffer from depression. What do I have to be grateful for? Well, I have food in the cupboard, gas in the car, right? A couple of shekels in the bank. My cat, Bruce, loves me. Have you all met Bruce? We should bring him in here, except he's sitting by the fireplace. So there's something you can control. Anybody ever heard of a book called Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl? It's an awesome book. You should all get that book out of the library as soon as you can. Anyway, Viktor Frankl says that when he was in the concentration camps as a psychiatrist, he said that everything could be taken from a man or a human being, but one thing: his ability to choose his attitude in any situation, his ability to choose his own way. In other words, in the concentration camp in Nazi Germany, in Auschwitz, where he was, what freedom did people have? They were prisoners. A lot of them were going to be set to death in the gas chamber. Pretty limited, their circumstances were bad, right? They were absolutely terrible. And yet some people chose to survive by what he called having a purpose outside of something they were going to look forward to once they got free, a book to write, a family to raise, and those people had a sense of purpose and meaning were the ones who survived. Okay, so OG says, I took a test on Monday called CPT. I think I might have ADD. Can Adderall help with the symptoms, or should look into antidepressants? That's what OG says. Well, it turns out, OG, that you asked the right person that question, because we have a gal in my Monday group who took Adderall for ADD and depression, and guess what? It helped her depression. I've known a number of psychiatrists here in Portland, Oregon that use Adderall for depression, so you should take it for your ADD and see what happens. It is a controlled substance. You can get dependent upon it. Take it easy, but yes, to answer your question, Adderall can help and does help with depression. Don Thomas says, because I'm trying to start a depressive circle, and I've gotten a couple of people with depression symptoms who told me not to do it. Well, Don, they're wrong. There's a guy here named Greg Sandler. He started an online depression support group, and people have been jumping onto it and giving him tremendous encouragement. Don Thomas, where are you trying to do this support group? Is it a personal? Is it where people come in person? Or is it an online support group? I have 2 support groups I've been running for 17 years from Monday and Tuesday nights here in Portland, Oregon, and there have never been people have been grateful to find this place. It's a sanctuary. It's a haven. It's where they can get validation for who they are and what they're going through. So yes, I don't listen to those people. Tell me more about your depression support group. Leanne says, I'm having a hard time forgiving my sister for never calling me or coming to see me in the hospital when I overdosed. Any advice? I think you asked me that before. That's a tough one, Forgiveness does not come easily. First, you have to feel the anger and the resentment and the hurt. I'm sure mostly what you're feeling is hurt and abandonment because she didn't come see you. But after you move through that, at some point you have to say, look, for some reason my sister was doing the best she could, but she didn't have it in her to come visit me. Maybe she was afraid. Maybe it triggered her to see that her sister had taken an overdose and attempted, to take her life. Maybe she was scared and couldn't handle it. When I was in my suicidal depression, 96, 97, some of my male friends just left. They couldn't handle it. They were too freaked out. And it wasn't about me. It was just about their own inability to handle the reactions to what I was going through. So that might be it for her. So yes, you might tell her that you're hurt, that you wish she had come, but see what she says. Try to start a dialogue. And at some point, I think you should forgive her because relationships are important. If you otherwise have a good relationship with your sister, it's important to hang on to those, especially family relationships. So what do you think of that advice? Okay, Don Thomas says you're trying to start an online on YouTube. How do you start an online support group on YouTube? I'm not quite sure. Greg Sandler is using something called App Messenger, which is an application where people can go and do a chat. So let me know more specifically of how you're trying to do something on YouTube. Well, guess what? I got an alert. Yes. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my watch, my Apple Watch. So let me put it on silent here. Yep. Okay, great. All right, so now no more interruptions with alerts on the Apple Watch. So Don Thomas, tell me more about your support group. And Leanne, did that answer help you? Thank you, Doug. OG, I really enjoyed NAMI Connections. I've only been to one so far, but it was nice talking with others with mental illness. OG, what is NAMI Connections? NAMI is the National Alliance on Mental Illness. They do walks, which I've been participating in to raise money for mental health resources. They also have trainings for people, and they have classes for family members. Tell me what NAMI Connections is. I'd like to know. Tex Suja, 47. I think you've been here. Hey, Doug, I'm a serious depressive episode for a long time. I haven't been able to hold down a job. Yes, and I survive with my parents. I want to apply for disability, but they put me down about it. No. Tex Suja, you should apply for disability. If you can't hold a job, that's what happened to me when I was 47 years old. Go for it. If you want to, you can hire a Social Security lawyer. They will not charge you. They will only take a certain fee once you get approved at 1/3 of your initial money they give you, and then the rest you get a monthly income. So how old are you? And do you have a history of psychiatric problems? Do you have psychiatrists who have seen you and written chart notes? Do you have a paper trail? Otherwise, it will be hard to get approved. But if you have been hospitalized or you have seen psychiatrists for a while, you probably will get approved. But there's no harm in trying to get on disability. And even once you're on disability, they will let you work. You can make up to $1,100 a month and still keep your disability. So I think it's an everything to gain, nothing to lose proposition, assuming you have the proof. Don Thomas says, it's me being live and people can come chat with me like you're doing. So yeah, Don Thomas, are you offering people just companionship and commiseration? Do you have expertise? It's okay if you don't. You can just say, I'm here just to talk with you and we can help each other. I see nothing wrong with that as long as you don't portray yourself as having expertise you don't have. But yeah, I mean, if it's just a group of people coming and supporting each other, validating each other, that seems fine for me. Ever heard of 7 Cups? It's an app website to help people out who have depression and anxiety. No. Where can you get it? Tyler Durden? I know there's a book called 7 Cups of Tea. I don't know if that's the same thing, though. IY, wow, nice of you to be here. Tyler, here. DouglasBlock@gmail.com. Send me an email and let me know more about that app. I'd love to know about it, seriously. I'm always looking for tools to help people. IY, Leanne, I can relate. This book called For Good by Fred Ruskin helped me. I like that. For Good also. I have a video called Forgive Yourself for Your Mistakes. Leanne, you might want to see. I don't have one about forgiving other people, but that might be a very good thing to do a general video on forgiveness, which is a really tough thing to do, but it's very important. I applied. You might have to go through a few times. I was still denied. Really, Leanne? Wow. Well, at least you didn't lose anything by doing it. Jeff DeLaha says, I'm on Social Security. What does SSI stand for? Social Security something. And due to mental illness, I'm 49. Okay, so you got it. It's not Social Security Disability, Social Security Income. Why don't you tell me what it stands for? I just forgot. But SSI is Social Security you get based on disability, based on mental illness. So one person got it. Thanks, Doug. I'm 27. Yes, I have a paper trail. I just want to get back on my feet. Well, you will get back on your feet. Have you been to my website? Have you checked out my newsletters? Have you gone to see treatment and gotten some counseling or maybe some medication? You're only 27 years old. That's my goddaughter's age. And so, yeah, you definitely can get over this. No question about it. 7 Cups of Tea. Yes, well, it's based on a book that was written about a man who went to India, or it was Tibet, and was helped by villagers. I don't know if there was an app. IY, is that a wave? By the way, a couple of quick advertisements here. There's something called a super chat down at the bottom of your scroll. If you click on that, you can make a donation, a couple of dollars to this live chat. And I have a Patreon site, www.patreon.com. If you go to that website and you type in my name, Douglas Block, you see that I have a website where I am raising funds starting at $2 a month. People can become subscribers to this channel in that way, and they can help fund the videos that I'm making. I have to pay for them, pay for editing, pay for filming, and put them online. Of course, I do this on my own time, so that'd be appreciated if you went to patreon.com, looked up my name. In the meantime, anybody contribute to Super Chat right now. Don Thomas says, and I put in the description of the chat that is only for support that I'm not a professional therapist. Well, Don, you're doing the right thing, but of course it's hard to get views for YouTube, so see what happens. What have you got to lose? I think I support you in doing that. Tech Suja 47, when you were in the university getting your degree, was it hard to deal with getting your education? I want to go to the University of Psychology in the future. I'm afraid of not being able to handle it. Well, I was depressed as an undergraduate, but I stumbled through. As a graduate student, I was not depressed at the time. I was in a nice relationship with a woman I cared about. So I made it. So, if you need to take a break, if you can't get through it, that's the way it is. I think you should try. I had depression, but it did not disable me from my 2 degrees, my BA in psychology, my master's degree in counseling. So I stumbled through. So I was able to make it through. Why he worked with families who lost people in Northern Ireland, both sides, really. I didn't realize that. You're talking about the 7 cups of tea? No, you're talking about somebody else. IY. Refresh me what you're talking about, the person who worked with families in Northern Ireland. I kind of missed the beginning of that thread. Don Thomas says, along with anxiety and other things, I'm just basically starting it. I'm just starting it and share with people and be there to listen. Having a person to listen can make a world of difference. Of course, are you kidding me? Don Thomas, that's what happens in my depression support groups. People listen to each other. So yeah, do it. Go for it. Tracy, Leanne, you have also tried guided meditation forgiveness as well as journaling. I'm also struggling with forgiving others, and I feel writing about it, just releasing the anger helps. Thank you, Tracy. Are you new to this channel? Thank you for that wonderful advice for Leanne. Don Thomas, I've been one channel already, 453 subscribers. I attached my group channel with the other channel. Great. You're doing well. IY, Dr. Fred Luskin, forgive for good. Okay. I'm going to remember that. Can you send that to me, IY? You've got my email address. Send me that name. There's so many things out here I have to remember. Hard to keep track of them. DouglasBlock@gmail.com. There we are. Pearly Bonda, hello from Oklahoma. Nice to hear from you. NAMI Connection is a peer-to-peer support group that they offer once a month in Southern California. Well, yeah, we do have peer-to-peer support groups here in Portland. I don't know if they're called NAMI Connections, but they are called peer-to-peer support groups. Absolutely. And you can become a peer counselor. OG, if you take their training, it's only a 1-week training. You can become a peer counselor. I think it's a peer advisor. And you can facilitate these groups. That might be something you might want to do since you have a lot to offer. All right, so how to be happy for the rest of your life. You can go ahead, as I said, you do have 40% that's under your control. Your thoughts, your attitude, your behaviors, if you exercise, if you connect with people, if you practice mindfulness meditation, there's all these voluntary things you can do. Hello again, Pearly Bondo. I'm going to check something on my phone just for a second. Don't worry about it. Maybe I will wait. So yeah, anybody with any other questions? So let me keep talking about this book. It's called the How of Happiness by a woman whose last name I can't pronounce, but she is a researcher at Harvard, and she has been studying happiness. Again, although people have happiness, a happiness set point, a default position where you may be there are people who are naturally happy and cheerful. Don't you hate those people? As I said, I have a good friend who's my bicycle partner who's just always in good spirits. God bless her, I'm glad she got the right genes and the right environment growing up. But even the rest of us who suffer from depression can have moments of joy, and that's what it's all about, right? Wellness, joy, that's what we're here for. So PPL been telling me to start a makeup YouTube channel. Oh yeah, because I hear you do good makeup. I've never seen it. Something I don't know about, but I don't know. And my ill baby is getting surgery Friday. I'm having a lot of anxiety. Well, of course, if your child is having surgery, you should have anxiety. Maybe you should wait to start this channel until things settle down. Pearl, my prayers are with you and your daughter. Yes, what type of surgery is it? My 7-year-old nephew had a surgery for a tumor in his brain, if you can believe it, and it went okay. Now he's alive and doing better. So hopefully your daughter will, do well in the surgery. Hopefully it's not a serious surgery. So we have 16 people watching. Maybe a little bit of advertising for my book. How about a joke? I was on hold yesterday. My cat was having some problems. They called a vet, and they said, cats can have dental issues like people. They can have abscesses. If you bring your cat in, we'll get to the root of the problem. They made a pun. Get it? And by the way, why are dentists sad a lot? They're always looking down in the mouth. A dentist joke, right? How about this one? A dentist is filling someone's cavity. The person says, how much is it? The dentist says $100. He said, $100 for 10 minutes? The dentist said, would you like me to take longer? That was good. All right, someone should laugh. Pearlie Banna, her tonsils and the growth of skin behind her nose. Well, very punny. Kate, nice to see you, Kate. Thank you for your live chat donation last time. You should become a member of Patreon if you can. I wonder why a baby has to have their tonsils out. Well, there must be a good reason, but that's a pretty routine operation, as well as skin behind the nose. So let's pray that the surgeons, you can go ahead, Perla, and call Silent Unity. I highly suggest you call this number. I have a video on it, 669. You're in Texas, so I'm in Oklahoma. Why don't you call this number, Pearlie Banda? It's Silent Unity. They'll say a beautiful prayer for your daughter and for the upcoming surgery, a prayer for the surgeons, and they will keep her on that list for the next 30 days. That'll be a good thing. You're our Patreon. Well, there you have it, Kate. I guess I have so many people on there. I've got 55. Thank you for letting me know. I didn't even realize. Well, tell your friends. Who would be a Patreon of yours? Mad not to? Well, tell the people who are listening. Tell the people that for as little as $2 a month, you can help support me in this channel. This is a work of love, right? I'm not working for a corporation getting $2,500 bonuses like the people who work for Apple. This is, I'm a wounded healer trying to use my suffering and what I've gone through to help you all and other folks, and it's a worthwhile thing to do. So yes, thank you, Kate. You should tell your friends or your psychologist, anybody in your family or community, let them know about this channel and about how they can contribute to it on Patreon. Yes, she just turned 2. Great. Well, call Silent Unity. You will feel so much better after their prayer. Matter of fact, Pearlie Bond, you have my email address. I want you to email me after you call Silent Unity to get their prayer. I guarantee you your anxiety will decrease, maybe as much as 50% after you call that number. What are your thoughts on why people are afraid to call those of us with depression? J. Rose, hey, nice to see you again. Well, as I said earlier, I think people are afraid of depression. They're afraid they'll catch it. They feel the depression themselves. If they're around depressed people, it'll stimulate that. Still a lot of stigma. So yeah, there's a lot of reasons. But not everybody. There are people who hung with me when I was depressed in my 5 episodes, and just seek out those people. I'm going to have some hibiscus tea. That felt good. Do I remember the year 1998? Of course I do. It's the year that I wrote this book. I spent the whole year after I got out of the hospital in 97. Here we are. My memoir, When Going Through Hell Don't Stop. Anybody who contributes to Patreon, I'll send them a copy of this. Yeah, I wrote this book in 1998, published it in 1999, and 1998 was a really, really good year for me. 97 were horrible. I was in a major depressive disorder, hospitalized twice. But what goes down must come up. Look what Julie Hayes sent me, right? From the Ashes I Rise. Any major depressive episode I've had has been followed by an equally wonderful episode that came in its wake. So yes, 1998, a great year. That's the year I got depressed. Well, there you have it. Every year someone's getting depressed, someone's recovering. Well, I hope you got over it soon, Tyler Durden. Nice always to have you here. By the way, where are you located in the world? Are you in the UK or are you here in America? Yes, well, at every moment, hey, right in this moment, I used to go to the World's Fair in 1964. Oh my God, that's like centuries ago, right? They had this little counter. They showed all the people who were dying that second, all the people who were being born. People on Earth are coming in, they're checking out. They're coming in and they're checking out, right? They're getting depressed, they're getting healed, right? The wheel of life. So I'm hoping you're feeling better. You're in the United States? Great. Well, glad you're here in America. We have a pretty good mental health system despite all its defects. We don't have a lot of our UK friends. Where's everybody from Ireland and Scotland? Where's Enda? Where's Yeah, Kevin McCourt. I miss all the Irish here, and also the folks from England. Looks like we have a United States audience today. All right. Another video I posted recently was called "One Reason Why You Should Never Give Up," and that is based on the title of that book, "When Going Through Hell, Don't Stop." Hell, in our experience, is not a thing that goes on forever. It has a beginning, a middle, and end, because everything in this physical world is passing. It's impermanent. That's what the Buddhists tell us. Oh, Enda, you are here. Hey, Enda from my favorite from Ireland. She did show up. Thank you very much. Anavantai, not UK, but Germany. Wow. Okay, thank you. 2 people from Europe. What a great place. And Wasu Piasek from New York. Yes, well, I'm from New York City. Enda, you have any questions? How is it in Ireland? You know, there's a gal from Scotland who's got the same name as my mother. And she's been communicating to me, and she wonders, you know, if it gets cold here. Well, I'll tell you right now, it's supposed to be 57 degrees and sunny. As soon as we get done with this live chat, I'm going to hop on my bike and go for a 20-mile ride. It's very mild on the Willamette Valley in the state of Oregon, very mild. So, but I doubt it in Ireland. It's probably a lot. I'm a dude, by the way. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Enda. Well, I didn't know. Edna is female. I've never heard of Enda, so I just confused the two. Well, thanks for clarifying. I appreciate it. Anyway, it must be colder in Ireland, Enda, than it is here in Portland. I'm sure it must be. Oscar Gonzalez, who's been here before. I think you even contributed to live chat. Hey, sometimes I wonder if I want to get better because I stay somewhere in the middle, kind of feel safe. I guess they're really afraid of relapse. I don't think out of a depression, but better. Well, the more you want to get better, the better you will become. Northampton, Massachusetts. Nice to hear from you, Bren P. So, Oscar Gonzalez, setting the intention to heal is the #1 predictor of success. The more energy you put into healing, the more desperately you want it, the more motivated you are to get better, the more better you will be. So, you know, Jeff, we're getting snow here in Michigan. You're right. I almost went to the University of Michigan in Ann Arbor. Boy, that would have been a mistake. You freeze your tush off up there. I did go to Madison, Wisconsin, same difference. So Julie Hayes is also from Michigan. She's not here today, but yes, of course. You get winters up in the Midwest, right? Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan. By the way, they have a big scandal at Michigan State, don't they, about those girls on the gymnastic team who were abused. That's really a shame because abuse is a setup for depression later in life, especially if you have it in childhood. And unfortunately, that does happen, but there are ways to heal. Displeasing Covers, you're back. Edwardsville, Illinois. Hi, dogs and everybody. I love your YouTube name, Displeasing Covers. Where the heck did you get that name? What is your best book? You wrote, Tyler Durden? Oh, yes, my magnum opus is Healing from Depression. Actually, I would say this is my memoir. This is my favorite book, but if Healing from Depression, which is over here, I have the memoir and a 12-step recovery program in it. So I would say Healing from Depression is the best book I wrote. I wrote it in 2001, 17 years ago, but everything in it still applies, right? Exercise still helps. Social support still helps. Prayer still helps. Diet still helps. You know, changing your negative thinking. I mean, look, human beings are the same as they were, you know, during the age of the Greeks or the Egyptians. Human nature has not fundamentally changed in the last 3,000 years. So what makes people happy, you know, during the time of Greece is making people happy, you know, here in the 21st century. What did Sigmund Freud say mental health was? The ability to work and to love. The ability to work and to love. I challenge anybody to come up with a better 7-word definition than Sigmund Freud, the father of modern psychology. The ability to work and to love, right? So if you have something you love to do and people you love and something you have to look forward to, you're good to go. So yeah, Displeasing Covers. Any questions? Of course, it's dark and cold in Ireland naturally, and F. That's what the winters are like there, right? I don't know how you guys put up with it, but I hear it's really green like Oregon. I lived in Scotland for 6 months in 1982 during the spring and summer. It was absolutely delightful to be in Scotland during that time. Okay, while you guys are thinking of your next question, I'm going to have another sip. It's 30 minutes after the hour. Time to chew some gum because my throat is getting scratchy. Pearly Bunny, you just called Silent Unity. How was the experience? Let me know. Did you like the sweet voice of probably the woman who prayed? Aren't they delightful? I'm from Canada. We got 12 centimeters of snow today. I like your the fact you use the metric system. Okay, there's 2.53 centimeters an inch. So I'm gonna take my calculator, right, and type in the code here. I'm gonna go right here. Okay, you got 12 centimeters. Okay, 12 divided by 2.53. 2.53. 4.74 inches. Wow, that's something. And more snow is coming. Well, that's Canada for you. Pokemon Master, I like your glasses. Thank you. I got them right before I went to the hospital. I'm still wearing them. It's a little bit wild, but thank you for your Pokemon Master. I don't think you've ever been I don't think you've been here before. Well, my best friend is calling me on the line. I guess we'll have to wait another 20 minutes until we get off the live chat. But yeah, I'm probably just going to put him on hold. Okay. Any new questions? Am I from Canada? No way. I'm from New York City. I'm a New York City boy. Well, I'm going to call my best friend back later. So yes, I was born in Flushing, New York. I was raised on the island. Moved to the West Coast when I was 22. Moved to Madison. Actually, I moved to Madison, Wisconsin. Then I moved to California. Then I moved to Oregon. By the way, the person who said they were from Michigan, I love Madison, Wisconsin. You should go there sometime. No, I'm not from Canada. I've been to Vancouver, British Columbia, a really cool city, but definitely from New York City. All right, so what do you guys think about the idea that you can have a certain amount of joy in your life, even if you have clinical depression or a depressive temperament? Isn't that cool? Isn't that good? Oh, Pearly Bond says, I liked it. It gave me peace. It was a gentleman. Usually 90% of the people are women. Now, did you give the Silent Unity people the name of yourself, Pearly Bond, and the name of your daughter? Because they're going to hold you and your daughter in the light for 30 days in their beautiful prayer chapel, which I've been to. So let me know. I hope you gave them the name of your daughter and the name of you. You can call them as much as you want. And did you ask them to send you a healing affirmation in the mail? They don't charge for their service. There's a donation envelope, but it's completely voluntary whether you give any money to them. They're an amazing organization. Keep that number, 800-779-669-7729, and keep it. My dad says joy's better than happiness. Well, yeah, I agree, but what does he define as the difference between the two? That would be interesting. Can I borrow your glasses? Sure, here. They are right here. Just take them right through the screen. Or if you email me, I'll give you the name of my optometrist and you get some of your own, assuming you're in America. If it was that easy to be happy, well, of course. So never ever, what about a little bit of a momentary pleasure, right? I'm looking outside my beautiful office window and the sun is shining. There's actually growth starting to come. We always have spring in February here in Oregon. So for like 5 seconds, I feel better. So what about some pleasure for 2 seconds? What about eating a scoop of ice cream? What about watching something on YouTube that's funny? Little moments of pleasure, even when you're in the midst of sadness. It's possible. Oh, they asked your adjuster to send me something? Yes. Well, they're going to send you a beautiful affirmation and a letter to you, Pearly Bonda, with an envelope, a donation envelope. If you want to give them a couple of bucks, fine. Otherwise, don't worry about it. But yes, it's a very good service, and I hope you keep that number and call them anytime you need to. Displays and covers. No questions yet, but I got out of bed today, cleaned my apartment. It has been overdue. It's helped my mood tremendously right now in this moment. Natural light is great. Of course it is. Displays and covers, one of the problems that people have when they move from San Diego to Portland, Oregon, is we get cloudy during the winter. Well, this winter is a major exception, but you need natural light. It regulates the pineal gland. So where do you live, Displays and Covers, and how do you get that name? Tell me about it. Remember, there is a little super chat button down here. You can click on it and you can give a donation to our channel right now. It would be much appreciated. What's the most amount of money someone ever sent you on Super Chat, says Tyler Durden? Well, I will, for confidentiality, I will not give his name, although he's been on here many times. I helped him. My videos, not me, but my videos helped him when he was in a really bad depression, was thinking about ending it all. He saw the video, decided to get help. He got better. So he sent me $50 on Super Chat. Of course, Google takes 37%. So I only got $33 of the 50. But hey, if you ever wanted to send me money and not have Google take a piece of it, you can send it to me at PayPal. But he was extremely, extremely generous. $50 on Super Chat. Wow. And thank you, Robert. Thank you for, there you have it, OG. $1. Appreciate it. Never, I'm stuck inside and that's all I do is watch YouTube. Well, never ever can you get outside. By the way, never ever is a patron of my Patreon page. Thank you. Really appreciate it. And never did you see the acknowledgement I gave you on my I told you I would acknowledge you on, because never ever sent me, how much did you send me? It was a very generous donation. Maybe it was $50 also. I forgot. I apologize, but never ever sent me a nice donation. I told him I would give him an acknowledgement on my new video. And if you go to the video called How to Be Happy for the Rest of Your Life and you scroll down, you'll see that I credit him and say, with your funding, this YouTube was possible. I give thanks. So you were acknowledged, never ever. And I was no problem doing that. It was my joy to acknowledge you. Never ever, says Pearly Bond, I'm happy to live each day for my kids. There's always something to be happy and believe you be better and try a hobby. Yeah, well, my hobby is bicycling, which is what I'm going to be doing. Displays and Covers says, I live in St. Louis. It's dark and cold a lot lately. I started my channel posting guitar and piano covers, but I'm not that great. Haha. I've since reviewed the videos. Well, hey, you've got a hobby, Displays and Covers. I've always wanted to learn how to play the piano. Would you like to fly out to Portland and give me lessons, huh? You know, you give me lessons about piano, I'll tell you how to be less depressed. Even Steven. Agoraphobia, thanks. So there are treatments for agoraphobia, and you can essentially get help. We had a gal in my group who didn't want to leave their apartment, her apartment. She went to a doctor at OHSU, got some Klonopin to take down anxiety, and finally went back to work as a director of a nursing assisted living facility. So have you ever tried to overcome your agoraphobia? Never ever with some treatment. That would be good. Okay. Anybody else? JLo, thank you for reposting the prayer number. I just did call. Well, I'll repost it one more time. Thanks. I'll give it again. Silent Unity. 1-800-669-7729. There we go. So, you didn't want to get out of your house, Pearly Bonda, and with your depersonalization, and I know I'm doing more. That's great. So, displeasing service, give me a song you'd like to know. I can try a tutorial. Well, that's very sweet of you. I was just kidding about that because I don't play the guitar I always wanted to. I don't play. My mother played the piano. My cousin is a musical prodigy. He's going to play the Rhapsody in Blue for me in May when I go back to New York. So yeah. Tyler Burns says there's about a 10-cent delay, 10-second delay when you send that message and when you finish typing it. Huh? Well, I have that on delay on purpose because if I didn't have that delay, then messages would come to me too fast. So that's why that delay exists. But thank you for pointing it out. That was consciously chosen. Any questions, Tyler Durden? Any other questions you guys have? And please do call that 800-669-7729 anytime you are in distress. Never ever you might want to call that number. I've gotten nothing but positive feedback from people who've called Silent Unity. So, a joke. Let's find a joke. My joke book. Humor, right? We have to laugh. Why was Santa's helper depressed? He had low self-esteem. Oh, wow, that's pretty good. What did one elevator say to the other? I think I'm coming down with something. Yeah, there's been a lot of sickness in Portland. What did the neurosurgeon say to the patient when before he operated? This will be a no-brainer. Okay. And we did this last time. Why did the witch not wear a flat hat? There was no point in it. What am I having for dinner tonight? Well, good question. I'm going to go to McDonald's, order a cheeseburger, then have 2 milkshakes. Then I'm going to Kentucky Fried Chickens and have some greasy chicken. Then I'm going to Burger King, have a couple of other cheeseburgers. Then I'm going to Wendy's, have some more meat. Yeah. As my mother used to say, you ask a silly question, you get a silly answer. You should have seen the stuff on my website. But essentially, I'm a vegan, and I'm going to have some steamed vegetables, a salad, and some quinoa. That's what I'm having for dinner tonight. Jay Rose says, I heard a great saying. Is your cup half empty or half full? At least I have a cup. Very cute. Yeah, well, that's what I mean about gratitude, right? I see my cup as half full, but at least I have a cup. Oh my God, there's a beautiful bird outside my window. Do people like birds here? I think they're amazing. A lot of people in Portland have bird feeders. I had 2 hummingbirds come by me the other day. They represent peace, joy, and happiness. You guys should all feed hummingbirds. It would be good karma for you. Mike B. If you have a manic episode only when taking antidepressants, does that mean you're bipolar or not? Well, a lot of psychiatrists think so. How many manic episodes you've had taking antidepressants? Antidepressants can create mania, so yes, but they also can trigger anxiety and akathisia, which can be mistaken for mania. So, if you had mania from taking antidepressants, try a mood stabilizer like Lamictal, which is a good one. See how you feel. But certainly, if antidepressants trigger mania, regardless of your diagnosis, don't keep taking them. I had intense anxiety and mania from Effexor and from Lexapro. So yeah, to know whether you have bipolar disorder might be you have to go to a psychiatrist or psychologist and get a thorough workup and have a diagnosis. You cannot just off the top of your head say, I have bipolar because I had a bad reaction to antidepressants, but you should probably stay away from them. Pearl Benson, I'm making real Mexican enchiladas and rice and salad with lemonade. Oh my God. Could you send some of those to me, Federal Express, Pearl Ibanda? Julie Hayes, you're from Michigan. You're saying hello. Is it snowing there? Someone else said, or it's cold? Jay Rose says, I love birds. Work with birds with hope to heal and release them. Oh, excellent. They are amazing. No, Mike, 8% of the people trying 80% to become manic. Be careful. You're making enchiladas too. Oh, God. Thanks, guys. You're late, Arcade Cup. You're my favorite. Green Bay, Wisconsin. You're probably freezing your tush off there. Arcade Cup is a patron. I think somebody said maybe it was IY, or maybe I think it was Kate who said if you don't become a patron. So there must be something wrong. So I'm going to put my Patreon address again. Julie Hayes is a patron. Kate is a patron. A lot of you guys are. So go to www.patreon.com/. And there we have. That's where you can become a member of this channel for as little as $2 a month. I got to send a quick text to my friend Stuart because you've tried to call me twice, and I'm just going to tell him I'm on live chat, and I will get back to him because he's leaving town. I am doing a YouTube live chat. I will be back to you after 1 p.m. Don't you love Siri? Isn't it nice to talk into a phone, voice recognition? As a writer, I always wanted that. Just talking to the computer, I'm a lousy typist. It makes life so much easier. Pearly Bonder, Julie, I make the real deal. One day, send me an email for the recipe. Hey, why don't you send one to me, Pearly Bonder? You know my email. Become a Patreon for Doug. It's a reward and staff. Hey, Kate, why don't, you could always go in and you could raise your pledge. That would be nice. I don't even know what you're pledging, but you could always raise it to $5 or $10 a month. If not, I'm just grateful that you're pledging. And you know who I was going to ask for a pledge? Billy Joel. How many of you know who Billy Joel is? He's an amazing musician. Anyway, have any of you heard a song from him called Second Wind, You're Only Human? It's an amazing song. It's all about hanging on there till your old second wind comes along. Anyway, he wrote that to help teenagers who are suicidal because he actually attempted suicide himself. There was an article about that. And he gave all the money he made in royalties to the National Youth Suicide Prevention Foundation. What a mensch, as we say in Yiddish. Anyway, and he suffered from depression. So is Bruce Springsteen, excuse me. So I should write those people, don't you think? Maybe they'd become patrons. Pearly Bender says, most Mexican Americans don't make real Mexican food. My husband was like, this is not Mexican. Bren P., I respect your humility. No, I don't know who you're talking to. Maybe it's me. So, Pearly Bonnie, can you go send me some of your enchiladas, FedEx? Just, do it overnight. They won't go bad, not that perishable. I'll pay for the postage. I'd love to have one of your real Mexican enchiladas. That'd be great. I tried Lamictal for 2 days and made me feel really dizzy and nauseated. You can get nausea from Lamictal. Do those side effects tend to go away? They do, actually, but you might start with I always believe in starting with real low doses and going higher. Of course, you're not gonna take my advice. You're gonna go to your psychiatrist or your nurse practitioner. But yes, side effects usually go away after the first week or two. Lamictal is a good medication. Start lower. I know you're taking 75 milligrams, 150. Start at 37.5 if you can. That's what I used to take. Take a 150 milligram tab and score it into 4 parts with a pill cutter and start with 37.5. I think they actually start lower. I think you can get really low. What dose are you on? Mike B., I'd like to know the dose you were on. I had a great night last night for the first time since August. Wow. I dare say I actually felt joy. I actually cried because I was happy for a while. Today is rough, but there's hope. Well, see, Julie Hayes, you got a little bit of a remission there, didn't you? Hang on to that. It can come again. Pearly Bonda says, have you ever tried chili rellenos? Pearly Bonda, I lived in Mexico briefly. Chili rellenos are by far my favorite Mexican food over enchiladas, over tamales, over burritos. Number one, chili rellenos. The only good ones I really had were in Mexico. There's also a place outside of Yosemite Park called Cruz and Willie's, owned by Mexican Hispanic people back in 1973. Oh my God, I'm getting hungry. I'm leaving. I'm going to the refrigerator to get a chili relleno, but there are none. So only 25 milligrams. Wow. You are sensitive, might be. Well, go to try 12.5, and if it doesn't go away after a while, then try something else. One man's made. Oh my God, there's a bird right in my feeder, right here. Oh wow. They need feeders during the winter. There's no flowers or seeds, but I know I just get really happy when I see a bird feeding out of my bird feeder. I should probably try to broadcast a YouTube live chat, but I don't quite know how I would do it. I can take a picture and I'll show it to you. Hold on. Here we go. Oh, bird flew away. Okay, we have 10 minutes left. Any other questions? Bren B says, how do you cope with judgment of others for your hospitalizations? Well, fortunately, the people I know, they've known me for most of my life, and they know I'm crazy. So when I get hospitalized, they say, this Douglas Block having another breakdown, no big deal. I'm joking, of course. Fortunately, I have not run into judgments because the people I know who have known me understand mental illness, what it can do. They understand that it's not my fault. It was a genetic predisposition. I also had a difficult childhood. So, but if someone does judge you, Bren, you just tell yourself, I'm a good person. I'm not defective. I'm not weak. This is not my fault. Tell yourself you're a hero because you're a strong person dealing with a difficult situation. What did someone once say? God, there's a way they put it, but I can't remember exactly. But essentially, you have the courage to face your mental illness and strive to overcome it as opposed to giving in. You're a normal person dealing with an abnormal condition. That's what you tell yourself, Bren. I'm a normal person dealing with an abnormal condition. There is nothing abnormal about me. It's the condition. You don't say I am depressed. You don't say I am anxious. You don't say I am manic. You say I am a person suffering from depression. I am a person suffering from anxiety. I am a person suffering from mania. You see, these things do not define who you are. Who you are is a child of spirit, whole and complete. These are things you've got. People don't say I am cancer. They say I have cancer. People don't say I am diabetes. They say I have diabetes. And yet people say I am depressed. Watch what you put after the words I am. They define who you are. So I don't want to hear anybody saying I am depressed. I want you to say I have depression. I suffer from depression. I have a condition called depression. You get the difference? So yes, Bren, don't let other people put their judgments on you. They have no idea what you're going through. Just feel sorry for them because they don't have empathy for what people with depression and anxiety go through. So, did that help? Julie Hay says, damn, I'm hungry. Yes, but you're making enchiladas right now. I make some good ones with California chilies. Would sell some when I was in need. Well, I say, just send it to me overnight. You've got my address. I make birdhouses out of an old barnyard. Would you like one, Doug? Huh. Well, where would I put it? Sure. I'll give you my address. You can send it to me. Jill Hayes says, separate yourself from depression. Observe it. So this sounds like a stupid question, but do birds live in birdhouses as opposed to making nests? Yeah. Here it is. If you want to send it to me, I'm cool with it. Pearly Bonnie, you can send me your chili rellenos too. By the way, Pearly Bonnie, I'm not completely serious. If you wanted to send them, you can send them to that address. Jeff, I'd love a birdhouse. I'm trying to feed and preserve birds. It's one of my missions in life. 5 minutes left. Any other live chats? No one's gone on Patreon yet. You're making homemade tortillas for the enchiladas. Well, Pearly Bonnie, what can I tell you? The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. I'm sure your husband must love eating your Mexican cooking. That will uplift you from depression, won't it? Enda, what's going on? Is it still cold in Ireland? I appreciate the very kind words. Enda F has made some really beautiful comments on my channel. Very complimentary. I'm touched by them. Thank you. thank you everybody who has appreciated the work I'm doing. It's not easy. I'm not at a university. I wanted to be a university professor. I don't have a salary. I can't go on sabbatical. This is my one-person mental health ministry. Although, I get lots of support from my family and friends, emotionally, and I'm just glad to do this. So thank you for being here, and thank you for appreciating what we're up to. You'll make me one. Okay. How big are they? And you have to tell me how to use them, where to put them, and where the birds would go. So it is now 55 minutes after that. We have about 4 minutes and 30 seconds left before I check out. Guess what? I'm going to the coast, the beautiful Oregon coast, on Saturday and Sunday. So we will be broadcasting live on Sunday from Cannon Beach, Oregon. Go check out Cannon Beach. Put it in your Google search. Look at some pictures. Check out Haystack Rock, Cannon Beach. I want you to do that because that's where I'm going to be on Sunday morning, Sunday at noon. I want you to go look at some pictures of where I'm going to have, this is going to be right outside my window. I might even move the computer to show it to you. I think I will. Okay, I'm typing this out. I can't type. Give me a second. Darn. Google that, please. Google Haystack Rock. I'll be there Sunday at 12 o'clock broadcasting to you guys. You'll appreciate it. All right, well, I told my friend I'd call back at 1. It's a few minutes before 1. That's okay. Any last questions before we tune out? And thank you again for being here. I hope I was helpful in answering some of your questions. Please check out my video, How to Be Happy for the Rest of Your Life, and also the one I made before that called One Reason Why You Should Never Get Up. Can't get up. Give up. Yeah, one reason you should never get up is you're depressed in the morning. You can't get out of bed. So www. You guys know this, right? youtube.com/USDR/HEALINGDEPRESSION. That's my YouTube channel. If you guys want to go be there and check out my latest videos. And any last comments, thoughts from the peanut gallery? By the way, Julie Hayes and Pearly Bonnie, you are making me hungry with that enchilada stuff. I'm going to have to go get something from the kitchen. Maybe some yogurt and blueberries. I have no Mexican food available, unfortunately. So remember, you can become a patron at patreon.com. If you want to read the thing I'm most proud of, right here, Healing from Depression. And that's it. I'm a donut, not a peanut. Well, I'm not quite sure what that means, but, oh, I got it. Very funny, Kate. All right. So we'll see you guys on Sunday. Videos every Monday at 7 a.m. Live chats Sunday and Wednesday at noon Pacific time, 8 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Central time in Texas and Oklahoma, 3 p.m. in the East Coast, 1 p.m. if anybody's around in the Mountain Time Zone, and of course, 12 noon. Thank you, Pearly Bonnie. You'll get that book soon. You can get it at Amazon.com. You can get it used for about probably 59 cents. You'll just have to pay the postage. All right. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.